Islam is a political ideology disguising itself as a religion. And there's some serious truth to that. Now, if you're asking the question, if Christians are asking the question, man, why is it that Islam in general seems to have a radical targeting of both Christians and Jewish people? Like, obviously, that's the whole globalize the intifada. That's why is Hamas in Gaza like openly committed to the extermination of Jews worldwide? Like, that's in their written charter. Like, okay, like we actually have Bible verses for this, and I don't think a lot of Christians realize this. So if you go back, this is a theological snapshot. If you go back to the Old Testament, when God comes and he establishes a covenant with Abraham, he tells Abraham he's going to establish his covenant, and it's going to have three things as part of the covenant that he gives him. He says, man, I'm going to give you this land as, quote, an everlasting possession. That's theologically significant, talking about the nation of Israel then. And then he says, I'm going to give you a lineage. Through your lineage, the whole world's going to be blessed. And he's saying through your lineage is eventually going to come the Lord. Yeah. And the Lord Jesus Christ is a descendant of Abraham, obviously. God tells Abraham I'm going to give you a son. And the whole story, it gets kind of weird. Abraham has a wife named Sarah. They have to wait a really long time, and the son's not coming. Abraham gets nervous and begins to lack faith in God's promise. So Abraham, his servants named Hagar, actually Sarah, his wife, encourages it. And she's like, well, maybe we'll fulfill God's covenant, through offspring that comes through Hagar. All right, so there's a child born to Abraham and Hagar named Ishmael. Bookmark that name. That's going to be really important here in a second. Now, eventually, that child was not supposed to happen. So you can think of that as the child of the flesh. Now, eventually, God comes through on his promise like God does with all of his promises, and Abraham and Sarah end up having the child of the promise. His name was Isaac, okay? This is what thousands of years ago God said would happen to the lineage of Ishmael and the lineage of Isaac. The Jewish people are the descendants of Isaac. Most of the Arabic nations that became the Islamic nations are the descendants of Ishmael. Okay. So now, thousands of years ago, this is what was prophesied what would happen to Isaac and Ishmael. The angel of the Lord also said to Hagar, you are now pregnant and will give birth to a son, Ishmael. You shall name him Ishmael, for the Lord has heard of your misery. Listen, he will be a wild donkey of a man. His hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand against him. And he will live in hostility towards all his brothers. So the Bible is literally prophesying thousands of years ago, the descendants of Ishmael will be at war with the descendants of Isaac, the Islam.